Yes. That's a that's also another resource. Yes. The high school library over on 21st Street is also another resource. Yeah, they're starting to build their assistive technology division or department. So, yep, that's definitely an option. Sorry, one person at a time, please. I can't hear everybody. No, no, not at all. I mean, I have a 32 gigabyte phone, and I'm nowhere near filling it. And I have like, I think I did a download the other day. I think I have like 148 apps on it. Yeah, most of which I never use. I'm not. I wouldn't hold my breath about that. The question was people at the App Store, at the Apple Store, are able to help you. My experience and the feedback I've gotten from the community is that it's hit or miss, and you're more likely to miss if you want assistance using any assistive technology, because their geniuses, and I'm using air quotes when I say that, are not so genius when it comes to assistive technology. Even though Apple does have a really very wonderful um, full-bodied uh, assistive technology product. Yeah, exactly. And it's there's it's like probably 1 out of every 100 staff members that know about voiceover or Zoom, and they're not. And if you don't luck out and get that person, then you're kind of out of luck and kind of on your own about it. You would have to have pre-existing skills to be able to use it. If you don't have the pre-existing skill set that allows you to use different apps on your phone, then buying the KNFB reader would probably be a waste of money until you have that skill set. Yes. Bob? Yes. Uh-huh. Great. So there's an option there. The library offers training on how to use different apps. Yes. That's it. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so Lynette makes a really good point. The way to deal with, especially with touch screens, when you're dealing with other devices like the ones I've showed today that have buttons, the buttons are very clearly demarcated, so you can find them relatively easily after a basic introduction to the device. But when you're dealing with a touch screen, every screen has a different layout. So what's your best way to deal with that layout is to explore it. And the best way for a blind person to explore, like Lynette said, start at the top left and then use what's called swiping or flicking to move through every element on the page so that you can figure out what's on that page, and then at least you have that information, and from there you can build. But like I said, if you don't have the basic usage skills, then buying the KNFB reader is not going to be very helpful, because you're going to need to be able to use your iPhone effectively to be able to navigate within this app. So my recommendation always, start with your basics and fundamentals, navigation especially, and then once you master that, then you can move on to more complicated apps. Yes, Marianne, please. Mm. Hmm. that's a really wonderful question and idea. So the question is, where do you, if you're just losing your vision, where do you start and how do you know where to start? One such way is getting in touch with the rehabilitation agencies and programs around the city, right? So you can start with the Commission for the Blind. You can go to places like the Lighthouse or the high school library or Visions and the Guild, Helen Keller and things of that nature. But I think that might be something that we might want to take under advisement. Maybe we can create a blindness 101 or, blindness for beginners or something like that. No, I honestly, I know it sounds silly, but yeah. Uh-huh. No, it's fine. Mhm. Sure. Right. Yeah. 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 So I hope this doesn't offend anybody in in the room today. But I do want to say, like, some people are just not technologically inclined, and that's not something bad or good. It just is, right? So, it's just like some people don't get roller skating or don't get riding a bicycle. It's the same kind of concept, and it's not a judgment. It's just that's just what it is. So I think sometimes you're right. If the only thing to one second, I'll be right with you. One thing to do is just focus on getting those basic skills down, and then you can move on. And maybe getting those basic skills might take longer, but if that's what your focus needs to be, then that's what your focus needs to be. That's a good focus to have, Yes. Question. Yes, please. Yes, Charlene. That's a great idea, also. Mm-hmm. Yep. More information you have. That's right. Thank you, Charlene. So I'll repeat. So Charlene made a really wonderful point that one other way that you might access information is by joining some consumer groups like ACB, which is American Council of the Blind, and NFB, which is National Federation of the Blind as well. So these are two consumer groups that you can participate with, and you'll be meeting lots of people who are dealing with similar circumstances and will be willing to share information and share experiences, and that might also be another way to deal with the information gap. Thank you, Charlene. That's a great piece of information. Oops. Any other questions on the OCR devices? I know we got a little sidetracked, but I think